Hi everyone, Dave here with Wrestlemania 39 Night 2 review video. I know I'm a few days late on it, but if you guys watch WrestleMania 39, you would know that probably needed to take a few days to recover. But also I've got a weird throat thing going on, so I wanted to try to conserve my voice a little bit, which is also why I'm going to try to have this video be a little bit shorter than the last one. So let's just get right into it. No particular order. Just have the card up here. I'm just going to talk about it, and we'll go from there. So first, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda and Shayna versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. This match was honestly kind of forgettable. I really wanted to like it, and I really think it had the potential to be a very good match, but a lot of the themes that went through night 2 of WrestleMania were a lot of title retention and a lot of people getting undeserved wins, or cheap wins. And this was one of them, unfortunately. My buddy actually called it. He said, "We haven't seen much of Ronda. She's going to come in at the last second. She's going to win the match." And that's exactly what happened. Liv and Raquel were the most well-rounded team. I think they were the best team, and I think they deserved to win. But even if they gave it to Natalya and Shotzi, that would have been fine. Chelsea and Sonya, that would have been fine. Even Ronda and Shayna would have been fine if they earned it, and they didn't. They barely really did anything, and the match itself was kind of It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like crazy cool or anything like that. It was just kind of whatever. And the way that it ended made it even worse because it just ends on just a wet fart, essentially. So that's that one. Next, we got Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Kind of a whatever match as well. Omos is like basically the equivalent of assuming someone's good at basketball just because they're tall. Just because you're a big, intimidating figure doesn't mean you're gonna make for a good wrestler. I haven't heard much of him on the mic, obviously, because they don't do much talking during WrestleMania. But I've heard from a lot of people he's not good on the mic. He can't he's just not interesting to listen to. But I can't say that because I haven't seen him. I'm just saying that's what I've heard other people say. But what I can say is that he is not interesting to watch in the ring. He's slow. I will say he does what he does well, but what he does is boring, and that's just grab Brock Lesnar the whole time, and then grab him again, and then grab him again, to the point where Brock Lesnar was turning purple. I don't know if that's normal for him, but it was just boring. Brock won, which is cool, I guess. But it really was a match that kind of really didn't mean much. It was a weird, I don't, rivalry, I guess. I would have much rather had the Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, rivalry that they got going. That would have been cool to see. But this Brock Lesnar and Omos is just, it's just not interesting. Like, yeah, you're tall. You've got size 18 feet. That's cool, I guess, but it's just not interesting. I don't care, But yeah, so whatever. Next, we have a match that really saved the evening, though, and probably one of the best definitely the best match of night 2, for sure. And definitely one of the best of the entire WrestleMania was the Hell in the Cell with Edge and Finn Balor. That saved the night. Like, by the end, this was the second to last match, I think, and by the end, my buddies and I were like kind of bored, honestly, like low key. I didn't turn it off. I wasn't going to turn it off because it's my first WrestleMania and I wanted to see it through to the end. But if I didn't care that much, or if I, had been a wrestling fan for a long amount of time and it's like, this is just any other WrestleMania, I would have definitely turned it off. Because I was just that bored. But this saved it for sure. This was a crazy match. Chairs, ladders, kendo sticks flying everywhere. Big jumps off of ladders, off of the cage itself. Finn Balor legitimately splitting open his head. I've seen the photo that got posted. That's a gnarly gash. I don't know how he doesn't. I gotta check that man for concussion. The fact that he came out as the Demon is really cool because I could be wrong, but I feel like I heard somewhere that he hadn't wrestled as the Demon in a long time. I'm not the biggest Edge fan, but I'm more of an Edge fan now because he really put on a great show. They both did. And I think they had to cut the match short because of Finn getting hit in the head, but that was like kind of sort of early-ish on into the match. They like still wrestled for a good few minutes after that. But Finn Balor legitimately just took a ladder to the freaking face, and it was bloody. It was great entertainment, honestly. And it just props to Edge and Finn for putting it all out there. And people say wrestling's fake, and again, a lot of it is planned. But I always say, yes, the outcomes are planned. A lot of the up close, that's planned. But the stunts are not fake. The stunts are real stunts. So when something goes wrong like that, you still face the consequences, and you still face the risk of injury. I'm not actually gonna try to smack you with a chair, but if I mess up my timing, you're gonna get hurt. Or I may get hurt. And that's what happened there. So it just really proved that at the end of the day, the wrestling is fake. It also is real enough to be very interesting. And that match was great. It was a fantastic match. A lot of fun to watch. My buddies and I were getting hype. It was all like, oh, what? Oh my God, whoa. Like, it was a lot of that. And that's what wrestling is. Or at least what it should be. Next, we have the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus. Again, Gunther's boring to me. His whole thing is, I'm a big, tough German guy or whatever. And that's boring. I find that really boring. I would have loved for Drew to win. I would have loved for Sheamus to win. It was the only belt that Sheamus hasn't held. I think either one of them winning would have been great because it could have set up a new storyline for them. They were a tag team. They're good friends. But then this whole split happened with them. One of them, they both really want to hold the Intercontinental Championship. And then if one of them held it, then the other one may turn heel potentially. And then that could start a rivalry over the belt. That would have been an interesting storyline. But nope, Gunther still just holds it. And that's that. The match itself was good. It was a lot of fun. They were, it was definitely a slugfest. All three of them just going at it. But the same thing happened. The same thing with the Ronda Rousey thing in their match happened where Gunther just kind of leaves for a while. It's a lot of Drew and Sheamus fighting, which was great. It was just them slugging it out, which was really fun. But then Gunther just comes back in, suplexes, I think, Sheamus into Drew, which was kind of cool, honestly. But then winning. And again, boring. Like, that, if you're gonna, like, that's just a weird and cheap outcome. Maybe I'm just a naive fan because I'm still new to wrestling, but it just seems so forced and so cheap to me. But whatever. The match itself was fine. The match itself actually was better than fine. The match was really good. I just hated the ending. But other than that, the Intercontinental Championship match was a lot of fun to watch. Next, we have the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Again, a lot of title retention. And I do understand that when I talk about, like, somebody may be out there saying, like, oh man, this dude's complaining that everyone kept their title. Like, that would be lame if every single person lost their title, because then you're always going to know, okay, well, the challenger's going to win because everybody always loses their title. Like, in this fantasy world that I've created for myself, like, when I say title retention is boring, I don't mean like every single time a belt match takes place, the challenger always has to win. That's not what I mean. What I mean is when the storyline, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion anyway. So when the storyline is going in a way that would be more interesting if the challenger won the belt, that's what I want to see. Or when the person holding the belt is just straight up boring to me and unappealing, I want to see someone new. Or when the person holding the belt has been holding it for way too long, as in the case of Gunther and as in the case of someone else who we will get to shortly. But when it comes, so yes, I do like seeing new people hold belts. But again, I understand that if everyone just lost their belt all the time, that would also be boring. So in the case of Bianca Belair versus Asuka, I wanted Asuka to win just because I'm a fan of hers, but I'm not against Bianca holding her belt. I like the fact that there is a Raw and a SmackDown Women's Championship. That's more interesting. It's not just Roman Reigns holding both belts all the time. Again, we'll get to it. But the match was good. Bianca dodging the mist was cool because we've seen before that every time people get hit by the mist, they go down. It was high flying. It was a lot of back and forth. Bianca's intro was really cool with those really talented dancers. Props to them. And that one young girl, I heard there was a press conference that Triple H did later. Apparently, the one girl, the younger girl that Bianca was dancing with, had lost their mother, which is very unfortunate. So God bless, that girl for still putting on a great show, and props to Bianca for dancing with her and showing her some love. So that was really neat to see. And the match was fun. It was it was good. It was fine. And now we get to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Cody got robbed. Cody got so robbed. I don't know what has to be done to make it, like, I get it, okay? From a business perspective, I get it. Roman Reigns is the face of the WWE. He makes them so much money. People who don't know wrestling know who Roman Reigns is. I get it from a business perspective. But from every other perspective, as a fan of watching it, as a fan of the storylines, it is so boring to see the same dude just continue to win. And also, not even really continue to win cleanly. He doesn't even win cleanly. He just continues to win because his cronies just hop in at the last second. Solo got kicked out and then he puts on a hoodie and sneaks back in. Like, that's so lame. I think I said it in a previous video, or maybe even in my night one review. If you're gonna have somebody lose, just have them lose. Like, don't make it this weird little, like, oh, he snuck back in and he got hit with the Samoan spike and the ref didn't see it because he was talking to Paul Heyman. Like, that's so cheap and corny, dude. It's corny. Cornbally. Just and I feel like it's disrespectful to Cody because it's like, the only reason that Roman won is because he did this cheap little trickery when Cody Rhodes is literally putting his body on the line. The dude just ripped off his pec from his freaking bone, not, a year ago, or whatever. And he just got robbed. I really think the Cody Rhodes storyline quite literally finished the story. It was prime for this, prime for a takeover. I don't know if they're gonna set this up to be a further storyline of like Cody coming back and facing all odds to face the big bad guy once again. It'll be WrestleMania 40. That's a big number, and I think they really want Roman Reigns to hit that 1,000 days as champion and everything. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other night who's also a wrestling fan, and he mentioned, I hope I'm not getting these details wrong, but apparently Cody's father, Dusty Rhodes, had something happen to him or something where I think he lost or maybe he won or something where basically where the match changed because they went back and reviewed it. And again, that's all like, the spectacle of it, but they went back and reviewed it and overturned the thing. So my buddy was saying, oh, I wonder, at first I thought that was going to be like paying homage to Dusty Rhodes by like, him losing, Cody Rhodes losing because of the cheapness of it, and them reviewing it and being like, oh no, you can't do that, you cheated. I could be getting that wrong. That's not my buddy being dumb. That's probably me just getting it wrong. If I said something incorrect, if I said something incorrect, that's my fault, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, Cody got robbed. I really wanted Cody to win. He didn't. He deserved to win. And it's just so, again, it's so freaking boring seeing Roman Reigns hold both belts. If you want him to hold one, that's fine. Have him hold Raw, have him hold SmackDown, but having both is so boring. It leads to less interesting stories, it leads to less interesting matches, and it's just Roman Reigns being Roman Reigns, and also him not winning cleanly, which is another thing that I cannot stand. If you're gonna have somebody lose, just have them lose. Don't have them lose because of corny baloney. I'm trying not to cuss, and I sound hella white right now, but don't have them lose just to like cheap tricks. Like, have them lose. Like, if you want them to lose, just have them lose. Like, I would much rather prefer Roman Reigns actually go out and beat Cody Rhodes rather than him get pretty beat up and about to lose, and then Solo Sikoa, who is also so boring as well. I don't. His whole thing is just, I'm going to use my thumb and jam it in your throat. Wow, man, that's super cool. He never talks. He doesn't do anything. He's just, he's like a big old baby, that just follows Roman around. I'm getting a little too angry. I don't know why. But I guess that's kind of the beauty of wrestling, is that even though it's these storylines that are fake and, everything is whatever, I get, then that's in myself and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other WWE fans get invested in it that heavily to where we're like, oh man, this is blood, this blah, 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 and I guess that's why it's fun. But the match itself, I haven't even talked about the match itself. The match itself was really good. It just ended dumb. It's like having, kind of like this past Super Bowl, I guess, to use a football reference, or another one, because Roman Reigns, I don't know if I said this in this video, but like Roman Reigns holding the belts for this long is the equivalent of like the same team winning the Super Bowl every year. I don't know if I said that already. But to use another football analogy is like this match is like the last Super Bowl where it's a really great Super Bowl, but it ends on like a really bad pass interference call or something like that. And it just adds like a big old, come on, man, like that. I don't know how to express that in words. I can only express it in actions. I was sitting there with my buddies just going, come on, man, like, dude, really? Like, it was lame ending. But overall, night one was way better. But taking both nights into account and it being my first WrestleMania, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm very happy to be a part of the WWE universe now, as people call it. I've enjoyed talking about it with friends who are already into it. I've enjoyed the new friends kind of sort of getting into it a little bit with me. And it's just a lot of fun. And I appreciate all you guys watching the videos. I've talked with a few of you in the comments and such. And also I posted a TikTok talking about wrestling, and I, got a few nice comments on that too. So it's been cool. So I appreciate all your support. That was my Night 2 WrestleMania 39 review. I hope you liked it. I will see you in the next video. I don't know what other wrestling videos we're going to do, especially now that WrestleMania is over. If you guys want to see more wrestling stuff from me, feel free to let me know. But I think in the next video, we're going to get back to the anime and such. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye, guys.